Number one is good brain food, all right? Good brain food, because you are what you eat. What you eat matters, especially to your gray matter. Number two is killing ants. Automatic negative thoughts, your self-talk. Third thing, exercise. Number four, brain nutrients. And if you're low on B vitamins, if you're low on DHA, then you're going to have cognitive issues, right? So supplement. Number fifth thing that you want to optimize your brain is positive peer group. We know who you spend time with is who you become. Sixth thing for your brain, clean environment, clean air, clean water, because there's a lot of pollutants that's not good for your cognition, right? Number seven, sleep. This is a big one for so many people. Number eight is brain protection. I work with a lot of athletes, high-performer athletes. Concussions are a big deal. Ninth key to keeping your brain alive is new learnings. Finally, number 10, stress management.
The only difference between successful people and not is just how they think. Rich people think different. Quit letting people tell you you got to get qualified in another program. You don't need another program to be successful. You need to change the way you think.
How much has Lionel Messi pushed you to become a better player?
I'm pushed to myself. I don't need other players to push myself. I just work since I was in sporting, so I push myself all the time to be the best.
The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. If that was one message, it'd probably be that. Like, people don't fail because they're not talented or skilled or whatever. It's like you give up what you want most for what you want now.
My brother, how are you? Everything okay? I'm tired now after the game, but I play a lot from experience. I work very hard. People don't see how I work because people only see when I play games and they wonder where everything comes from. I believe in hard work and it always comes back. And then it's in your head. Everything is mental. If you feel young, you are young. If you train hard, you train hard. And if you know you're better than everybody, you are better than everybody. Then you just have to do it. People talk when you're number one, they just want to find something to go against you. It's always the same shit. But we prove again who we are and what we're made of. Nothing is for free. Hard work pays back always.
Some of the most successful people in the world are the ones who've had the most failures. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter. Her first Harry Potter book was rejected 12 times before it was finally published. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He lost hundreds of games and missed thousands of shots during his career. But he once said, "I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed." These people succeeded because they understood that you can't let your failures define you. You have to let your failures teach you. You have to let them show you what to do differently the next time.
Today is difficult. Tomorrow is much more difficult. The day after tomorrow is beautiful. Most people die tomorrow evening.
When I'm at restaurants, I am a big tipper. You know, I like to show people my appreciation. So when they come up to the table, I say, the quicker I get my order, the bigger your tip will be, right? And then the food will come fast. And then when we get ready to leave, I'll ask them, how much you want?
You'll ask the waiter how much do you want?
How much you want? And the most someone said was $4,000. And I said, okay, no problem.
You gave him $4,000? $4,000. You should have punched him in the head is what you should have done.
When I was young, I had a lot of people telling me, you have to adjust to the other ones. You have to be like the other ones. I was listening, but I wasn't always following. I kept doing my own thing, and I believed in myself. They judge you even before you come, and they don't even know you. But I kept going, and it brought me where I am today.
Lazy people always say, I can't afford it. I don't have the money. That's why they're poor. They have a poor mindset. So instead of figuring out how to raise money, it's just really easy to be a loser. And I call losers. It pisses them off. We all have the power, if we wanted to not be poor if we learned how to raise money.
How do you become the 1% of the 1%? How do you take it beyond just success?
It's all about vision. If you have a very clear vision of where you want to go, and you have a very clear goal of where you want to go, then it makes it easy and it makes it enjoyable to go and do the work to get there.
I know how much hard work it takes to pursue a dream of building a business. The long hours, time away from family, the rejection, the ideas you know are brilliant that just don't seem to catch on. There is a great quote from Thomas Edison that does the best job of defining what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that don't work.
If you ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a private plane, a 6 or 7 star hotel, living my life to the fullest, don't hate on me. Don't get jealous of me, because I work my ass off to get it. Everything about my life and career, I've earned it. Ain't nobody gave me shit. Nobody handed me nothing. If you want it, go get it.
I'm alone and look at me. There's nobody around me. Nobody likes me, man. It is what it is. Sometimes in life, people are not going to be around you to motivate you. They're not going to be around you to push you, to celebrate you, to applaud you. You got to do it on your own. That's what I'm doing right now.
Would you give people anything if you were president?
Yes.
Like what?
Candy.
Hey, man, Tommy, you have got to run for president because I like candy. I bet you don't know what my favorite candy is.
Chocolate bars.
Chocolate bars? Who told you that?
Was it right?
Yeah, it was right. Tommy, it's a chocolate bar.
Sejauh manapun kita pergi, jangan pernah lupa kepada Sang Ilahi. Sebanyak apapun kita memiliki harta, jangan pernah dipamerkan kepada alam semesta. Semenarik apapun kita memiliki paras, jangan sampai berkelakuan layaknya orang tidak waras. Karena hidup begitu keras. Hari ini kita bisa di atas, bisa jadi besok hidup kita tertindas.
I always question myself in the best of times. What can I improve? What do I need to change? Because if you don't do anything or you just do the same thing over and over again, you stay the same. And staying the same means going backwards because the other guys are working hard and improving.
Ingat, orang tua itu satu hal. Kadang-kadang orang tua itu tidak pernah bilang terima kasih ke anaknya dan nggak pernah bilang sorry ke anaknya. Jadi jangan kalau anaknya nanti, ini anak nggak pernah minta maaf sama orang tuanya. Iya, karena Anda juga kadang-kadang nggak pernah minta maaf sama anak Anda kalau Anda salah. Maaf itu bukan siapa yang lebih tua, siapa yang lebih muda. Maaf itu kesalahan.
Financial freedom itu adalah seni menunda kepuasan sekarang untuk kepuasan yang lebih besar di masa depan. Jadi daripada lu beli tas mahal sekarang, mending lu punya tabungan kesehatan ketika lu umur 50-40 tanpa harus berpikir. Daripada lu beli mobil yang mewah sekarang, mending lu beli cash mobil second tapi duitnya bisa untuk sekolahin anak lo di kampus yang lo inginkan misalnya. Jadi financial freedom yang paling gampang adalah menunda kepuasan saat ini untuk kepuasan yang lebih baik di masa depan.
Tetaplah sederhana. Kenapa? Karena ketika kamu sederhana pasti kamu akan peka.
Iya, setuju.
Dan tetaplah berbudaya dalam artian cara berpikir segala macam. Karena ketika kamu berbudaya, maka kamu akan harmoni.
Anak-anak muda itu terlalu peduli dengan kata temennya. Ya, mereka takut kehilangan teman, terus nanti takut dicap sombong, takut dicap acu tak acu. Saya sendiri juga, waktu usia 2 bulan, saya juga mengalami yang sama. Tapi sekali lagi, saya sadar, emang teman saya itu mau nanggung kalau ibu saya sakit? Enggak kan? Emang teman saya mau nanggung biaya uang kuliah saya? Enggak kan? Nah ya sudah. Terus kalau teman saya nggak ikut bertanggung jawab, lah ngapain saya harus dengar kata mereka?
If you decide that you will be poor, there's nothing I can do. You're gonna be poor. If you decide to be rich today, who gonna stop you? Who? If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start. Why not? Who gonna stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person.
It was one of the biggest mistakes. I still hear it today from young people. Oh, I don't have to worry because I'm still
young.
Yeah, and that is death to most people because eventually you get old and then you're not young again. So it's a way of saying, when I talk about assets and liabilities, one of the most important things you have in your life is time. It's one of your greatest assets, or it's your liability.
You show me your crowd, I'll show you your future. It's simple, right? There's 3 types of people you need in your life. You need the inspired, the excited, and the grateful.
I just feel good today.
You always have to feel good. I mean, why waste your life in sadness when you can enjoy a life of happiness? I want to inspire the world. I can't just sit there and mourn at my fractures and my disability and be like, oh man, see those dudes, they're doing so good. I was never like that.
Come on, man.
I ain't never been like that.
Never, ever.
Never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got a goal. What's the plan? And when you're trying to do something that you're truly passionate about, there is no plan B. Think about that for a second. Michael Jordan won 6 NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls because he was committed to plan A, not plan B. Oprah Winfrey became the queen of all media because she was committed to plan A, not plan B. Plan B sucks.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you're fucked. You got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over.
Muhammad Ali worked his butt off. And I remember that there was a sports writer that was there in the gym when he was working out and he was doing sit-ups. And they asked him, how many sit-ups do you do? And he said, I don't start counting until it hurts. He doesn't start counting his sit-ups until he feels pain. That's when he starts counting. That is working hard.
There's 4 types of mindsets. One mindset is, I must win. Another mindset is, I must be right. Another mindset is, I must be liked. And the other mindset is, I must be comfortable. So the people who must be liked and the people who must be comfortable will probably never make it as entrepreneurs, simply because, you know, we hear it all the time. Oh, I don't really want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. You know, I want to be with all my friends, have them like me. Well, they should not be entrepreneurs, they should be employees. Okay?
Every day, because I have a vision, I have my confidence, and I believe in myself. People call it arrogant, I call it confidence. Ignorant people call it arrogant, intelligent people call it confidence.
Fear is my friend. I love fear. Fear allows me to reach my highest potential. The fear of failing is an illusion.
Yeah.
Fear is an illusion, but we have to have desire. We have to have something that pushes us. Fear pushes us.
When you see the famous people, wow, so successful, you don't know behind this story, how tough they are. Like people, wow, Jackie, the move is so good. When everybody sleep, I still in the health club, in the mirror. Practicing. Like this. And 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, get up on the set. Then you suddenly do something, very beautiful. Oh yeah, go back, training again.
Don't try to be the best. Be the first. Be the first to change. Be the first to take the challenge. Be the first one to overcome the difficulties. If you want to be successful, learn from the other people's mistakes. Don't learn from the successful stories. Learn from the mistakes, the other people. No matter how smart you are, you will encounter these mistakes. You learn from mistakes not because you will be able to avoid mistakes. You will able to, when these mistakes come, this suffer comes, you know how to deal with it.
7 billion people need to change the conversation of what success looks like. It is not to make $1 billion. It is to actually wake up in the morning and be in a good mood.
I just want to make a lot of money and tell people money is not everything for this life.
First you want to make a lot of money though, right?
Yeah, first.
That's crazy.
But
highest level winners do what?
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every poor decision you've made in your life. There was more emotion that was involved in it than there was mind. Every single one of them. Think about it. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up. Think about it. Every single day, your mind is the one that tells you, get up. And your feelings like, an extra 30 minutes, just wrong with it. Don't worry about it. Every single one. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings.
Tidak ada yang tidak mungkin di dunia ini. Asalkan kita mau berusaha, kita juga selalu menghargai titik-titik persimpangan hidup kita, di mana kita dibantu orang, di mana kita jatuh, kemudian bagaimana kita bangkit, siapa yang membantu kita, maupun siapa yang menjatuhkan kita. Bukan untuk membalas kejahatan atau ketidakbaikan, tapi untuk belajar bahwa diri kita pun pasti tidak sempurna. Karena di dalam langkah-langkah mencapai impian, pendakian kalian mencapai puncak impian tertinggi kalian, yang nikmat itu adalah prosesnya.
Sekonglomeratnya orang, nomor satu terkaya di dunia yang nggak bisa dia beli apa? Waktu. Nah, jadi kita tidak boleh menyanyiakan waktu. Ya elah, kita mah ibaratnya makan. Gue juga dari bawah makan ngemper aja, makan nasi juga cukup, bener nggak? Kita juga baju aja kita bisa cari endorse. Yang penting kan orang tua kita ya alhamdulillah masih dikasih usia. Tapi kan seenggaknya ya waktu kan akan terus berjalan. Bener banget. Seenggaknya kita juga harus menorehkan kenangan indah dan kasih bermanfaat buat mereka.
Kalau ada orang makannya banyak tapi nggak gemuk-gemuk, masalahnya di mana? Masalahnya ada di freezer. Masalahnya ada di hormon. Hormon tuh ngobatinnya gimana? Perbaiki hormonnya. Dengan cara apa? Kasih dia minyak. Kasih dia minyak dulu. Berapa lama? Saya biasa sarankan sekitar sebulan. Jadi dia makan minyak sama makan lemak yang baik. Contoh lemak yang baik apa? Minyak zaitun, alpukat, itu lemak yang baik. Makan selama sebulan. Perbaiki. Dan kurangi karbonya. Ya, habis itu ngapain? Habis itu dia harus latihan beban kehidupan. Bukan. Latihan beban itu bukan pakai barbel ya. Latihan beban itu kayak plank, squat, push up, latihan beban itu. Sebab itu akan stimulus growth hormone. Growth hormone itu kalau dia
tidak pernah ada ya riwayat yang menyebutkan Nabi SAW yang begitu toleransi terus ikut merayakan perayaan Yahudi atau Nasrani atau mengucapkan selamat atas hari perayaan mereka. Begitu juga para sahabat ya. Bahkan seperti Umar bin Khattab radhiyallahu an pernah mengatakan, hati-hati kalian, jauhilah tempat-tempat perayaan orang-orang kafir karena disitulah murka Allah SWT akan turun. Jadi nggak ada riwayat Nabi dan para sahabat kalau pas perayaan sebagai ungkapan kerukunan antar umat beragama atau toleransi hadir juga. Jadi toleransi itu lakum dinukum waliyadin. Bagi kalian agama kalian, bagi kami agama kami. Itu toleransi. Simple aja. Allah nggak melarang kok kita untuk berbuat baik kepada mereka. Bahkan masalah-masalah muamalah dunia boleh, tapi dalam masalah-masalah akidah jangan coba-coba. Masalah prinsip jangan sampai dikorbankan. Mereka saja kalau disuruh syahadat mau apa enggak? Kan sama-sama ucapan juga gitu, sama-sama ucapan juga.
Lihatlah jemaah sekalian, bagaimana dahsyatnya murka Allah ketika mereka mengucapkan Allah punya anak. Dalam surat Maryam Allah ingatkan, wa qalu ittakhadhar rahmanu walada laqad ji'tum syai'an idda. Dan mereka mengatakan Allah yang Maha Penyayang memiliki anak. Sungguh kata Allah, kalian telah mengucapkan sesuatu yang sangat mungkar. Takadu samawati yatafattarna minhu. Hampir-hampir langit pecah karena ucapan tersebut. Wa tanshaqqul ardu, dan bumi terbelah. Wa takhirrul jibalu hadda, dan gunung-gunung pun runtuh. Da'au lirrahmani walada, karena mereka mengatakan Allah yang Maha Penyayang memiliki anak. Lihat jemaah sekalian, betapa dahsyatnya murka Allah, sampai-sampai langit hampir pecah, bumi hampir terbelah, dan gunung-gunung hampir runtuh. Lalu pantaskah seorang muslim mengucapkan selamat ketika mereka merayakan Natal, hari lahir anak Tuhan, hari lahir Tuhan mereka yang mereka sembah? Pantaskah seorang muslim mengucapkan?
Pas kita sholat ya, siapa yang ketika sholat berjamaah mendengar imamnya mengatakan Sami Allahu liman hamidah, apa artinya? Kita kan sering dengarkan tuh itu kan, sehari minimal 17 kali. Sami Allah liman hamidah, 3 kata. Allah Maha mendengar kepada orang yang memujinya. Itu kata imam. Imam kayak ngingetin makmum, puji Allah, Allah lagi dengerin nih, gitu kan maksudnya. Sami Allahu liman hamidah, kata imam. Kita langsung puji. Rabbana lakal hamdu hamdan katsiran thayyiban mubarakan fih. Begitu kita ngomong ini, tahu nggak apa yang terjadi? Malaikat itu akan rebutan.
Bagaimana mungkin Anda yakin Anda orang saleh, sementara Anda tidak pernah tahu apakah rokaat sholat Anda telah diterima oleh Allah? Jangankan rokaat, Anda tidak pernah tahu ada satu sujud Anda yang diterima oleh Allah. Mana bukti diterimanya? Benar Anda telah melakukan amal saleh, tapi sampai saat ini, sampai detik ini, sampai Anda meninggal dunia, Anda tidak pernah tahu diterima atau tidak. Di sisi lain, Anda berbuat dosa, Anda berbuat maksiat. Maksiat di mata, maksiat di telinga, maksiat di lisan, maksiat di kaki, maksiat di tangan, maksiat di hati, maksiat di kulit. Anda tidak pernah tahu maksiat itu telah diampuni atau tidak. Itu artinya tak ada ketaatan Anda yang sudah pasti diterima, dan tidak ada maksiat Anda yang sudah pasti diampuni. Dari mana datangnya Anda orang saleh? Kalau bukan dari syaitan, maka takutlah selalu kepada dosa, karena belum ada jaminan pengampunan. Dan haraplah selalu kepada ibadah agar dia diterima oleh Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Dan campakkan kepedean kita bahwa kita.
Beliau Habib Ahmad bin Zain Al-Habsyi, beliau mengatakan, saya kalau berdoa itu sering menggunakan lafaz Allahumma ya Rabba Muhammadin. Kenapa? Karena ketika saya doa menggunakan lafaz Allahumma ya Rabba Muhammadin, saya bisa dapat setidaknya 2 hal. Yang pertama, saya mengagungkan Allah Ta'ala. Kenapa? Dengan saya memuji Allah Ta'ala sebagai Tuhan yang menciptakan Muhammad, makhluk yang terindah, teristimewa, tersempurna, dan tidak ada bandingannya di muka bumi ini. Dan yang kedua, saya menggabungkan antara minta kepada Allah dan juga bertawasul kepada Nabi Muhammad SAW. Jadi beliau ketika doa senang dengan menggunakan lafaz Allahumma ya Rabba Muhammadin.
Bagaimana hukumnya apabila ada orang non-muslim memesan kue untuk perayaan Natal, diterima atau ditolak? Ditolak. Ya, jadi jangan diterima. Rezeki di tangan Allah Subhanahu wa taala, karena ini mendukung acara ritual, dan orang Islam tidak boleh. Fatwa ulama, jumhur ulama dari zaman sahabat, tabi'in sampai ulama di zaman sekarang ini, ya, itu semuanya mengharamkan mendukung acara Natalan orang Nasrani. Nggak boleh. Siapin kuenya kah, ucapin selamatnya kah, apa saja.
Sebagian kita sampai hari ini dengan umur yang sudah lanjut nggak pernah tahu dengan kalender yang ditetapkan oleh Tuhan pencipta langit dan bumi. Ya, pantas kalau kita menjadi ekor. Ingat, tidak semua yang berkilau itu emas. Allah tetapkan 12 bulan itu. Dimulai dengan Muharram, Safar, Rabiul Awal, Rabiul Akhir, Jumadal Ula. Sekarang kita berada di akhir Jumadal Ula. Jumadal Akhirah, Rajab, Sya'ban, Ramadan, Syawal, Dzulqa'dah, Dzulhijjah. Itu kalender umat Islam. Bagi yang muslim, diharapkan menghafal kalender itu, sehingga dia tahu kapan bergantinya tahun umat Islam.
Cara gesek ATM kita ke Allah tuh gini doang. Dan kata Nabi dalam hadis qudsi, aku malu kalau hambaku mengangkat kedua tangannya meminta kebaikan lalu nggak memberi. Allah malu, nggak mungkin nggak dikasih, pasti dikasih. Cuman cara Allah ngasih 3 model. Kadang dikasih persis kayak yang kita minta, kadang dikasih lebih banyak, lebih baik dari yang kita minta, kadang dikasihnya dengan model yang lain yang sama dengan nilai yang kita minta.
Setiap datang tahun yang baru, bulan yang baru, baik itu terkait personal kelahiran kita pribadi, ataupun juga tahun berganti dalam berkehidupan, Masehikah itu, Hijriahkah itu, maka Nabi memberikan satu contoh yang kuat agar setiap datang waktu berganti, jangankan tahun, bahkan setiap detik, koreksi diri kita untuk meningkatkan amal soleh kita. Karena itu yang menentukan kebahagiaan dunia dan akhirat kita. Dan selalu kita merasakan di setiap detik itu boleh jadi maut bisa datang menjemput kita. Koreksi dari yang salah, tinggalkan segala yang Allah larang, dan kembali kepada jalan kebaikan yang ditunjukkan dalam Al-Quran dan sunnah-sunnah Rasulullah SAW. Semoga Allah menerima apa yang telah kita kerjakan di masa lalu. Sampai detik ini, semoga membimbing apa yang akan kita lakukan, dicerahkan keadaan hati kita untuk menerima taufik Allah dan mengamalkannya dalam kehidupan.